such an awkward topic to talk about. Welcome to JQ! JQ's Cozy Corner!
Again with the foot.
Cozy! You already know what we're talking about. You saw the title. We are 21-year-old virgins.
We like mumbers.
So basically what we want with this video is we want to talk about the stigmas of being a virgin, being a 21-year-old virgin. This video is not to change people's minds.
Just to bring awareness of the other side.
Of the other side, because I feel like it's something that's not really talked about that much from our end of it, from being the virgins. And also to not inspire, but to help people out there that might be around our age or maybe a little bit younger than us. That
they feel ashamed or pressure or rush. Disclaimer, we are speaking from our personal experiences. We're not in any way bashing anyone that has had sex. Like, if you are having sex, girl, boy. But like, this is just our side of being 21-year-old virgins.
This is our perception of what society has shown us.
Yeah. Topic number 1, stigma of being a virgin. How our culture perceives it / how they make us feel.
My first thing about the stigma of being a virgin is I think that our society right now, there's a certain age where before that age it's okay if you're not a virgin. After that age it's like what's going on? And I think that that age is getting younger, which is scary because it's something that you have to be emotionally mature enough to go through. And the age that people are expecting people to have sex by, you're not even close to mature enough. I think that for me it was like around the age of 19. I just felt like when I told people that I was a virgin, it was such like a weird topic, and they were kind of like kind of looked at me like, oh, you're a virgin? You're 19 years old.
Mine kind of started in high school, really, because I had the situation where a boy that I really liked, he played the whole like, well, if you love me, then you would do this. When I didn't, like I stood my ground, he went and had sex with another girl. It's kind of like, oh, well, I told you, like, if you don't do it, someone else will. Yeah, exactly. Kind of makes you think, like, wait, like, is that the sign of love? Like, do I have to do that? And I'm so glad that I didn't.
So I feel like another like stigma, preconceived notion that people have once you tell them you're a virgin, it's like almost automatically, as soon as you tell someone you're a virgin, they look at you like you're immature. It's like, you're a little baby.
Yeah.
Sex before. Oh, you're a virgin. Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah. Once you say out loud that you're a virgin, it becomes a reflection of your character.
Yeah, and then people just think like, oh, you don't understand about relationships.
In my experience, like, these are my 2 responses that I get. You're very green, or you don't look like a virgin. Which, first of all, I'm sorry, what does a virgin look like? Yeah, like the stuff you post and the stuff. Because I'm in a bathing suit, that means I'm having sex. When you see all of these people doing it, it starts to make you question like things that you thought before.
Yeah. From a young age, I always knew that I wanted to be celibate. I wanted to save myself for marriage. But the older I got, it became more normal for the people around me that I was surrounding myself with to have sex. It started to make me think like, oh wait, like I've had times when I've questioned like, oh, maybe that's not something I have to do. Like maybe I don't have to wait. When people start questioning me about it and it becomes sort of more of an attack on like, well, why are you a virgin? Why are you waiting? They no longer respect the fact that I want to be a virgin. It's more of a, well, why? Like, that's weird.
It starts to make you feel kind of guilty, like, and maybe it's unintentional in how they're like trying to portray that or something like that. I even had this one incident with a doctor that I was going to where we were talking about things going on in my body, and I was like, oh, like, well, will that be like harder for me to have kids in the future? And this is the doctor's response. You need to worry about having sex first before you need to be talking about kids.
A doctor said that? That's sick. So this next topic is so interesting and something that you don't even really think about unless you think about it, but it's the difference between being single and being a virgin versus being in a relationship and being a virgin. So being single and being a virgin and wanting to wait for marriage is hard because it's so much more normal for guys to have had sex at an earlier age and for them to want that in a relationship that it's hard for me to go out and find someone who is going to accept the fact that I don't want to have sex, and it's something that I'm not going to waver on.
It's almost like it's such a requirement now, like up front. Like, no, we'll have sex. Like, I recently had a guy tell me, like, no, you have sex first, and then after that you decide if you want to establish a connection. I'm like, wait, what? So, like, I share my entire bare self. Like,
then you decide if you want to get to know me?
Yeah.
That's so
like, I'm
backwards to me
now. So, like, whenever I start to like someone, I start to shut it down because I'm so terrified of telling them, because there's all of this negativity attached, like, oh, they're not going to want to deal with that, they're going to think I'm going to be so attached, they're going to think I'm going to be so obsessed with them.
I feel the same. Like, at any time that if I like someone, I'm like, oh, but it would never work because I'm a virgin.
Yeah.
And it's not only like, oh, I'm a virgin, they're not going to want to deal with that, be my first time, whatever. It's like, oh, I'm a virgin and I don't want to have sex until I marry you. Yeah. I think that guys will feel like it's hard for them to accept that, so they don't want to deal with it, so they're not going to want to be in a relationship with me, and I just automatically shut it down. On the flip end of things, like we're talking about how people like judge us, the stigmas, blah blah blah, we're also judging them to think that they're going to automatically be like, no, can't do that. You know, like maybe there's people out there that are going to understand it, respect it, and love that.
Even just as hard if you're not necessarily waiting till marriage. Yeah. There have been a few people that I've really liked and I thought that it could possibly go somewhere, but I shut it down, like, because I know that that's probably what they're thinking is gonna happen right away, but I shut it down because I'm scared of what they'll think or what they'll do. Or do I just become like a notch in your belt that you want to get because, like, oh, she was a virgin, like I was even if I were to get into a relationship, I'm not gonna have sex with you immediately. Like, I just want to establish a connection with you, like emotionally and mentally first before physically. So I don't know how long that's gonna take. Like, I don't know if I'll know 2 days in, 2 years in, 2 months in. Like, there's no time period. I'm not thinking of it like that. I'm just thinking of, in the moment, I will know.
And I'm sure there's great arguments on the other side of things of people that have had sex and like what they feel about it. We can't speak on that, obviously. But I think that as much as we're not judging anyone, we're not judging anyone at all, but a lot of people are having sex because it's just a normal thing to do and not thinking about it as thoroughly as maybe we are with it. And I think that if there's people out there that have not had sex yet and are kind of like confused about it, don't know, don't rush into it. There's no rush. There's no rush to have it.
Yeah.
If you want to, please go ahead and do it, but don't feel like you have to because society makes you feel like you have to.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is that sex is supposed to be such a beautiful thing. That's something that you bring life into the world. I know you were going to say that, but you bring life into it. So it's something that's supposed to be so beautiful, and I think has had a negative connotation on it because of how normal it's become and how like cliche and like, oh, wild, have sex, you know? So it's not a bad thing if you have had it. We're not trying to say that that's wrong of you. We're just saying we haven't yet, and we just feel like we should be respected on the fact that we haven't.
I know a lot of people that have told me like that the person they're with now, like, it's so different when you're in love and you hear all these things where like, oh, I wish I would have waited until I knew, but you didn't, and that's fine. And now you're with someone that you're in love with, but you just gotta like wait, like don't feel pressured. So our next topic is why we're virgins.
Yeah. Dun dun dun. Dun, dun, dun. The question you've all been waiting to ask. I'll talk about more so, I guess, why I want to wait until marriage. 90% of it has to do with my beliefs. You know, I'm a Christian. I just grew up thinking like, oh, I need to just wait until marriage because that's just what I've been told my whole life, but without any context behind it. And for a while I just followed that belief because I was like, oh, that's what I was told. Later on, I think when I was around like 14, 15 years old, I guess like the start of high school, I started to realize why I wanted to be a virgin for myself and wait until marriage. I just always hear so many stories about how connected you get to that person and how special of a thing that is, and I want it to be something that I share with with someone that I'm truly in love with. And I feel like you can know that in a relationship. You can know that you're truly connected to someone. But until we sign those papers, that's a big commitment to someone. Like, that's saying I want to spend the rest of my life with you. I don't want to have sex because I feel like I'm in this deep relationship with someone and I really am in love with this person, and then a month later we break up, and then I feel like, wow, like my first time was with someone that I loved at the time, but now I don't really have any emotional connection to.
Yeah.
That's just period, boo.
So, my way, I guess, is a little different. I'm not waiting until marriage, but I am waiting until I feel it's right. My whole thing is, if I'm liking you, or if I talk to you, or we are in a relationship, I still don't think that I'm gonna be ready, because you're so vulnerable. Like, you are stripped down of anything else.
Yeah.
You are literally sharing your body. I think I said this before, but I really want to establish that connection with someone and be certain that this is the right time, like it feels right. Again, no time period, like the 6-month waiting period, the 9-month thing. Once I feel it, I feel like I'll know.
Once she feels it, she'll let you know.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
You just want to have it because you want to, not because of any other external thing.
Anything else. Again, I just feel like we have to keep on reiterating that this is not judging anyone that has had sex. If you had sex, I know people that are in beautiful relationships and they are with someone that they are in love with, and it is a beautiful experience. My whole thing is, it's everyone's choice. Every individual has their individual choice of what they want to do with their body. Just respect it all across the board.
Around.
Yeah. The responses that I've gotten from non-parental figures or family members, it's negative.
Yeah. I think my whole thing with this video is I just want to be that encouragement to those girls out there that haven't had sex, that feel the pressure. I just hope that you watch this video and feel like, whoa, like, okay, she hasn't had sex and she's firm on that. She's not getting
fine,
like,
yeah.
Which is, I think, why we wanted to make this video, because it's something that not a lot of people shed a light on in their lives if they are virgins, and it's something that's super hard for us to even share.
Feeling that underlying judgment of like, well, what do you mean? Like, well, you look like that, you could be getting it left and right, like, like all that different stuff is unnecessary. Like, you do you.
Yeah. I mean, just look at yourself and think, like, if someone were to come up to you, if one of your friends came up to you and said they were a virgin, would you judge them? What would your response be? Maybe you feel a little bit more understanding of the situation and you don't pressure someone into doing something they don't want to do. And then on the other hand, if you haven't had sex, don't feel pressured too. If people do, just understand that that's just the initial response because of how normal it is, but it's not necessarily that people are trying to attack you because of it.
We're posting this?
I don't know.
This is a fun video to record. I feel like I got a lot off my chest. But yeah, thanks so much for tuning in. I don't know how long this video is going to be. Hopefully it's not too long, but if
as
you
long
did watch,
as it needs to be, it's going to be, because this is an important topic for us to talk about.
And people are going to watch it. Maybe you don't want to. Maybe you don't like what we said. Comment below why. And that's JQ.
Oh, that's so cute. My name's Corey Tyler and I'm a virgin. I'm going to be a 31-year-old virgin the way this whole relationship thing is working out.
Oh,
hey, nothing's wrong with us, I don't think. We have no evidence that it's directly connected to being a virgin, but we know there's something wrong. I tell you, I don't want to have sex. Are you kidding me?
Oh, this looks like it could be your bun.
Oh. If anyone wants to be in a relationship with me, is it okay with me being a virgin? Let me know. Hit me up.